Good evening to you, all the viewers which are connected with the Facebook or on the Zoom. We welcome you in this very important session, and the subject is also very important and significant as far as academicians are concerned. So, therefore, without any further delay, we should start this with the introduction of these panelists. And let us first start with the Dr. Jitendra Saxena. So, Dr. Saxena is director presently, and he looks education, examination, and accreditation, and he is in the famous in the Institute of Engineers. So it is a very famous institute as far as the courses are concerned, AMI like famous courses. So, Jiten sir has started his career with industries, and he was electrical consultant with Brompton and Greaves and Lupin. Later, he switched to the academics, and he was research scholar in MNIT Bhopal, and he did his PhD in optical communication. And further, he headed many ICT approved institution. And presently, since last 5 years, he is with the Institute of Engineers. So we welcome you, Jiten sir, here in this
Thank you
panel.
very much, sir. Thank you very much, sir. And I welcome all the dignitaries and the speakers who are with me. And we really enjoy this session because the topic is very well conversant with the research topic, and all the academicians will listen us and they will enjoy us. Okay, thank you very much.
Welcome, sir. Now we come to our next panelist, who are Dr. Prashant Borkar sir. And Prashant Borkar sir is Vice President at Mastersoft, looking after academic relationships there. He is module expert for very important things. These are NAC, NBA, OBE, NIRF, ARIA, and product architecture for ERP solutions. So he has very significant technical skills. He has teaching and administrative experience of more than 10 years in academic domain, and handled various key positions such as board of studies chairman, head of department. He published 40 research articles in reputed journals. He was also on the editorial board of several journals and reviewers of Web of Science Index journal. So we welcome you, Prashant sir.
Yeah, so thank you, Srivastava sir, for the kind introduction, and thank you for the opportunity. I also welcome the esteemed panelist members for today's session and the participant, and it will be a great interaction among us. Yeah, thank you.
Welcome, sir. So now our next panelist is Akash Kumar sir. And now Akash sir is a professor or a PhD coordinator in Sikkim Manipal University. He did his PhD and PhD, BTech, MTech. He did his these things in electrical and electronics engineering. So, he has published many research articles in Scopus, and he has 100 plus document registered in the Scopus database by the year 2020. He is also a regular reviewer of reputed journal, namely IEEE, Springer, Elsevier, Taylor and Francis. So, Akash ji, you have very rich profile, and I could not read your full profile. Well, we welcome you, Akash sir, in this session.
Akash ji, I guess you are on mute.
Akash sir, you are
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the introduction. We're looking forward to the discussion, and as the topic is
Now,
quite relevant.
we come to Nilesh Kumbhar sir, and I would say he's director of My Research Support, and he owned well-known educational channel My Research Support with enormous views over and above 26 lakh and 76,000 subscribers. So it is very significant number far as educational channel is concerned. This thing is many times you could get in entertainment channel, but it is very significant for the educational channel. And moreover, Nilesh sir is academician also. He is working with some institution, AICT approved institution, and he did his masters, and he is getting his doctorate from Mumbai University. So, well, Nilesh sir, we welcome you in this important session, and you are very closely connected with the topic SCI publication. So, we welcome you, sir.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much, sir. And it's my pleasure to be here in this panel discussion on SCI publication. I would also like to welcome.
Sir, can you speak a little bit loudly?
Yes. Thank you very much, sir.
Right.
It's my pleasure to be here in the part of this discussion on SCI publication. I would also like to welcome all the members. Those are going to participate here, participants as well as panelists.
Right, sir. Now our next panelist is Dr. Vikas Khare. He is an associate professor in Narsi Munji Institute of Management Studies in Indore. He obtained his BTech honors in electrical engineering, MTech honors from DAVV, and PhD from NIT Bhopal. He is a certified energy manager under the Bureau of Energy Efficiency in India. Dr. Khare has published various research papers in reputed journals such as Elsevier and Taylor and Francis. He authored many books. This is very important thing with the Vikas Khare sir. He wrote three books for Indian with Indian publishers like Dhanpal Rai and publication, and there are many other publications also. He authored three other international books in Elsevier publication too. So we welcome you, Vikas sir, in this important session of SCI publication.
Thank you, sir, Srivastava sir. It's my pleasure to be a part of this panel discussion. Thank you very much, sir.
Welcome, sir. Welcome you, sir. So, well, we have covered these all important panelists, and now viewers, we are going to start this session, and our topic is SCI publication. I would not say many things on this topic because we are having experts from there of this field from various different places, different states throughout the country. So let us start with first we start with Prashant sir. Yes, Prashant sir, our viewers has already listened to you recently and they appreciated you, so I have started with you, Dr. Prashant sir.
Yeah. Okay.
Tell us about SCI publication to our viewers.
Yeah. Publication itself is an actually I could say an art in writing the quality of the publication. Whenever you write publication articles, no matter whether it's a journal or whether it's a conferences, especially when we talk about the SCI publication. So very first aspect before writing a publication paper, as a researcher, maybe a faculty member or maybe a researcher, we should first emphasize on what are the databases that essentially we are targeting. So specifically, if we talk about the SCI publication, so we are having a Science Citation Index, then Science Citation Index Expanded, then Art and Humanities Citation Index. Then we also have a Social Citation Index. So these are the citation index databases that they are, which is by the Web of Science and managed by the Clarivate Analytics. So the very first thing is what kind of databases that I should initially search. So for example, I am from the engineering background, so I will be morely interested in those databases which are either SCI or which are either SCI expanded or which are emerging SCI. That is one aspect. Second aspect is we need to also work on those aspects wherein the publication, say the journals or the conferences, whether they are Scopus indexed or not. It is not always case that a journal is a SCI index is also an Scopus index. It's not. So very first thing is we should set up the target that, okay, which is the area wherein we are writing the article. So say, for example, I am writing an article in a data science domain. So pertaining to the data science domain, what are the journals which are there in SCI or SCI expanded or in the Scopus? That is one aspect. Once I identify, okay, these are the prominent journals, I maybe go through the articles which are written previously or which are written publicly by those journals, so that I can get a fair enough idea about the content aspect. Of course, now when we move on to the second aspect of having a good publication is a context, the content which the publication is written. So most of the times the lagging is with the gap analysis and the mathematical foundation which is led that article to be a good one. Many a times what we do is in the name of literature survey or the what is state of art literature, what we do is we just sum up the abstracts of some 20-30 papers and we present it, but that is not something which has been expected. When we are doing a gap analysis, it is that when the problem was started, how the researchers has overcome that problem, what are the gap has been identified, how that gap is been overcome by the another researcher, what are again gaps come into it and how that is going to happen. So one is a gap analysis which has been important, that should be precise. On to that gap analysis, okay, this is the gap analysis, this is what is our focus, and we come up with this certain research. And when we talk about research, it's not just a text of writing that, okay, this is something I did. One is what kind of methodology that you have used to solve that problem, and a strong mathematical foundation is needed to support your evidence. Second, many a times if it is some we are solving some problem with certain XYZ technique, so what they do is they just specify the technique, but it's not you need to also justify why you have using this technique. So I guess these two parameters is, one is the databases and the supporting technique will make a publication certainly into an SCI publication. Yeah, that is my view on to and very high aspect.
Yeah, right. Prashant sir, thank you. You have shared your view initially. Now we come to Dr. Jitendra Saxena sir. He is very senior person in this among you all panelists. I would request Jitendra sir to share your views on SCI publication. Yes.
Thanks a lot, Manish sir, for giving me a chance to speak something about SCI journal. And it is a very hot topic for the academicians and researchers. And as it is very rightly said by the Dr. Prashant sir, we have to analyze the gaps, what gaps we are having inside that. Writing a paper is itself an art. Now, if it is an art, then we have to concentrate about the whole process of writing a paper. Now, the process which involves from literature survey to the end of the mathematical interpretation, mathematical analysis, and simulation studies, and the experimental setup. The most typical thing what I feel in this whole research area and the writing of this research paper and whatever the things, and as per the Indian perspective is concerned, the experimental setup which we require, we will have simulators, we will have mathematical backgrounds and mathematical interpretation. And the experimental part, which requires a lot of infrastructure and all that thing for the respective branch of engineering, which we are lagging as the Indian perspective is concerned. Although in IIT perspective, the experimental setup are there, and it is going on, like we talk about the emerging technologies as per the AICT perspective is concerned. There are 11 to 12 emerging areas now: artificial intelligence, machine learning, and blockchain technology. All this type of new emerging technologies are coming, and it is motivated by All India Council for Technical Education. Now, in this whole network of publication and all that thing, this 11 to 12 technology plays a very vital. And in this respect, the experimental setup, experimental test beds, which are prevailing in India, is not up to that mark. So as far as IIT perspective is also concerned, they are trying their best, they are building their setups, they are building their experimental test beds, all that thing is going on. But in order to relate that research as far as simulation and experimental and that validation is to be done in the broader aspect, in order to make that research at that level of research, that is a very important issue, what I see. And we have to work, all of the researchers from every point. There are people from Manipal, yes, professor is there. And all, we should think in that way, how the mathematical interpretation is done and how it is related with the experimental setup, if it is there. Although there are many researchers who are suffered for all this infrastructure at present, and they have to face a lot of constraints while doing their research. So similarly, when I was a researcher, I have to face a lot of difficulties as far as infrastructure point of view is concerned. But this will be manageable only as far as SCI perspective is concerned. In order to publish a journal, you can publish simply by a simulation study also. It is not compulsory that you go for experimental setup or all that thing. But if you go for simulation, if you study in depth that subject and you apply with the mathematical interpretation, then the publication can be done to SCI also with a high impact factor. So it is up to you to how to publish and to get through, because now it is in the norms of PhD. If you are doing PhD, then 2 to 3 SCI journals should be there as per the norms of AICT or whatever the academics we are having. So it is important that you know the subject in depth, have the literature review and literature survey, and be focus on your objective and then go for it. This is all about the brief I want to share with you, and this is all about myself. Thank you.
Thank you, Jitendra sir. और आपने अपना एक you have shared your experience. So
Thank you very much, sir. Thank
I
you.
believe what you have said is with the experience. This is the
Okay.
your experience only.
Okay.
So धन्यवाद Jiten Saxena sir. Now our next panelist, I would invite Mr. Nilesh Kumbar sir. And important thing is with Nilesh sir is that you can you could listen him here also, and later you can listen him on YouTube channel My Research Support. So we, yes, Nilesh sir, please. You are
yes sir, yes sir,
okay,
yes sir.
Right.
Thank you very much, sir.
Right,
Sir, I
right.
think three years before I have started one channel, and I named the channel as My Research Support, and now I am having around more than 75,000 subscribers. Those are around research scholars and academicians. So it's my, actually, this is a good thing that I could gather all these research scholars on the single platform, because I cannot find any channel since few years before when I was doing my master's and even PhD, and I could not find a single channel. Those will guide me, and I have misguided by many of the people that for plagiarism, ethics in publication, how to write research articles, and many points are there. And due to that, because of that, those problems, I have started this channel, and I got a very good response. Thank you very much for the users as well. So, and today's topic is really of my interest, because I have prepared, or I have uploaded some videos on YouTube as well. So I receive many questions even on the email and through the messages regarding Scopus and SCI publications. Most of the time SCI publication that people are unable to publish in SCI, or most of the time they are coming across the rejections as compared to Scopus database. And even most of the research scholars are confused in between SCI and SCIE and even ESCI. That Dr. Prashant sir also, I think, very well talked on this topic. That SCI is basically first started in around 1964, SCI, Science Citation Index, and later SCI is basically a larger version of SCI, means Science Citation Index. Okay, and it consists of around more than 8,500 journals. Okay, and then across these have been started for social sciences, arts and humanities. It is called as ASCI or SSCI, and different journals are there according to the different streams. Okay, so coming back to the point which has been mentioned by Dr. Prashant, which is a gap analysis. So I also believe that most of the research articles which have been rejected from this SCI journal, and this is because of the unclear hypothesis, because the question behind the research is remained unclear. There are basically three things. First is literature survey, second is literature review, and third is literature outcomes. So all these three stages are very important as far as my knowledge. Literature survey, we should gather a very quality and very high metrics indexed or only very quality indexed database journals only. If the research is based on those quality journals or books rather, if you are referred this quality journal, then there is a possibility that at least you come sort of some quality information. Okay. The second is literature review. You have to review critically, extensively. We have to read all this, everyone have to read all these research articles very carefully, and they have to come across the problem or limitations what the other researchers could not do and why you are doing this research. So you have, everyone have to prepare one statement that yes, I have referred 50 research articles and I found that this problem is not addressed, and it is a reason that I am taking this topic for discussion. So if it is a clear, then there are chances that it can be accepted or it can be rather considered for review process. Okay. Other than this, I would like to mention some other points, and there are basically two stages. If you all agree, there are basically two stages. First is technical screening, where the research articles can be rejected. Okay, few common reasons are like plagiarism, submitting research article to multiple journals, or submitting incomplete submissions, not following any author guidelines, or figures tables are unclear, and have used incomplete or old references, or submitted research articles are not according to the aim and scope for that particular journals. Okay, there is not originality of work, means you're submitting the research articles, it might be an extension of your own work, that is actually not accepted because you have already taken a credit for your published work. So you even cannot just extend your work, you can add some words to it and you are trying to publish that work, it is not accepted. So we can say there is no any originality, or if there are only observations, in that case also your research article can be rejected in this SCI journals. And there are some flaws in the procedures, presentations, your analysis of data should be excellent. So, and the most important point is validation, where if we compare this SCI publication with the Scopus publication, then most of the SCI journal that I'm coming across are having, should expect very high or strong validation. Like for example, if I have done some theoretical analysis, so I have to compare, means what I have mentioned or presented data that I have to prove it is a correct. Okay, and for that it should be validated. I have done a theoretical analysis, I have compared that theoretical analysis with analytical or numerical analysis, and I have compared that again with the experimental analysis. In that case, if the results are close together, then we can say that yes, my results are validated. Okay, and definitely the reviewers also will be getting this thing, and your research articles, you will be receiving a minor corrections, and there is a possibility or chance that your research articles can be accepted. Okay, and one more point, that the argument that you have mentioned, everyone mentioning in your research article, should be supported in the conclusions, and conclusions should be supported in the arguments. Okay, there should be no any the information that you have included in the conclusion, but there is no any relevance in the arguments you made in the research article. So these are the small points that everyone have to keep in mind and will help, definitely help them to get published in SCI journals. Thank you.
Yes, you are on mute.
Nilesh sir,
Yes, sir.
have you finished your discussion?
Yes, sir. Go on, sir. Thank you very
Fine,
much.
sir. Thank you, sir. So, our next panelist is Dr. Vikas Khare, sir. Vikas, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yes.
So first, SCI general, this is definitely what very hot topic for the research scholar or just as an MTech student as well as a BTech student. So I think everyone is aware of Science Citation Index, which is developed by the Calibrating Analytics in Hong Kong and the Canada. So the main things I will discuss about what type of paper are published in SCI. I think everyone is know about there are the two broad category of research paper, review paper and the research article. So most of the case in the review paper, the author only summarized the previously published paper. But this is not a sufficient. Nowadays, it is necessary to develop future aspect of that review paper. And also it is necessary to concluding remark of every one section of the review paper. For the example, in the engineering, there are the number of cases, just like in a recent scenario, number of technologies, just like artificial intelligence, blockchain, cloud computing, IoT. So it is necessary if we collect the number of paper or 10 or 20 paper related to the cloud computing, then after the completion of that topic, it is necessary to conclude in the terms of future aspect of that topic. So this is mandatory in the review article. Then when we are write the article related to the research article, so the research article in SCI journal, if we want to publish in a SCI journal, so it is categorized into a number of steps, just like an introduction. So it is necessary to define what did you and what did you others do, and why did you do it. This is the mandatory condition in the introduction. So when we decide the title of research paper, so it is classified into the three categories. For the example, one of the title is design and modeling of wind energy system by the Homer software. So this title elaborate the main objective of this research paper is design and modeling. Then where we apply the design and modeling, with respect to the wind energy system or solar energy system. Then we are done through the Homer software. So it is necessary to apply or adopt the proper title of that research paper. Then the main cases method, how did you do it? This is mandatory condition in the research article when we are published in the SCI journal. After that, what is the result? What did you find? So it is necessary to create relation in between methods and research, or create the relation in between how do you do it and what did you find. My suggestion for the research scholar, always write a research paper with respect to the diagonal connection. Then what is the meaning of diagonal connection? In the engineering theory, we always write a research paper related to the on theme. For the example, electronics engineer always related to the paper of the communication engineering, electrical in the renewable energy system or the conventional energy system. But it is necessary to adopt the cross diagonal or diagonal connection related to the other field. For the example, it is necessary to apply the economics or the concept of economics in the engineering field. If we adopt the diagonal connection in the field, it is better to adopt the paper in a SCI journal. So there are a number of chances. In the recent case, we are applying the new technology, just like artificial intelligence, cloud computing. So what are the aspects when we apply the concept of game theory, which is the part of economics? When we apply the concept of game theory in the field of cloud computing or in the field of artificial intelligence, so such type of connection is called as a diagonal connection of at the research level. So this part is come under the category of methods. Then results, what did you find? Then after that, the discussion, what does it all mean? So for the write the good paper for the SCI general, it is necessary to prepare the figures and tables in a proper manner, write the methods in a particular way, write the step-by-step process, and draw the flow diagram of all the methods. Then always summarize the result in a proper manner or in a point-to-point manner. I will also discuss one of the important points that is called as an impact factor. So all the researchers, it is necessary to the first step, identify the scope of journal. Most of the case, research scholar or the student submit the paper which is not related to that title. That is the major case of rejection of that paper. So it is necessary to in the SCI journal to identify the proper scope of that journal. Then after that, it is also necessary to identify the impact factor of that journal, because according to the impact factor also increase the citation of that paper or selected paper. So these are the main attribute when we are submit the research paper in a reputed journal or in a SCI journal. This is my point of view regarding the SCI journal.
So thank you, Vikas sir.
Thank you, sir.
So you have shared your views on this SCI publication among these all panelists and our viewers which are connected with Facebook also. Most of the viewers are connected with Facebook. So let us start with Akash sir as panelist. Akash Kumar sir,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
we welcome you to share your views on SCI publication.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. It was very nicely, covered by all the panelists, what actually we need. Like if a scholar is targeting a, let's say, SCI journal where they want to publish, so what they need to do before going for, publication. So in that, I would like to, highlight those points also. Like the first thing is the title that they will be selecting, then the abstract which they are writing. In the most of the cases, as we are also doing, like editing few of the journal as like special, this as a guest editor. So we found that like by the title and the abstract, we come to a kind of a conclusion whether it is feasible for this particular special issue or not. Similarly, that is also relevant where you are targeting, the paper that you have prepared and which journal you are targeting. The scope, as the sir has particularly mentioned, whether that is on the scope of that particular journal, that has to be checked. And in addition to that, I would like to suggest that there are if somebody want to publish in Springer or Elsevier or other journal, there are journal finder. The websites are there, or the web link is there. Springer Journal Finder is there, then Elsevier Journal Finder is there, where they can put the abstract and the title, and they can give it a search, and a list of journal will appear based on the ranking and the scope of that particular abstract and the title which you have entered into that website. So based on that, you will be able to find out which are the journal which are there, and then you can find out as you are targeting to a SCI journal. So you can rank it out based on the impact factor, and you can find out, which is more suitable based on the work that you have prepared. And coming into the work, as clearly pointed out, for SCI publication, you have to have, the work which is being validated thoroughly. And if somebody is doing some simulation based work, we also do, but we try to validate that work with several databases which are there, and we try to include the recent databases which is kind of emerging. And again, you have to see the databases, openly available databases which are available. Those databases also should be validated, like it should be from a particular institute or being properly cited, and DOI number is there. All those we can able to find out in that particular databases. So that is one aspect of it. And another aspect that I think Dr. Jitendra sir also pointed out, like if somebody is trying for SCI, the journal will look for experimental work also in some cases. Like we also get comment from River that whatever you have simulated that need to be validated, or there are some experimental part that need also to be incorporated in that. So in that aspect also you have to see how you be going to set up the whole experimental setup with the feasible thing that we have, and try to replicate the theoretical concept which you have done either through simulation based what you have project. So that will add on extra value to your work if you have done a kind of experimental way of validation to your work along with your simulation. And obviously while you are writing that, you need to incorporate all the mathematical equation behind it, so that the readers should able to understand or they can able to reproduce the work. The whole idea of publishing is like the reproducibility has to be there, and it has to be something new, something novelty is there, so that you have to point out like why you have done it and what is new in it. So that is what the journal will also look for. They are publishing several things like the emerging topic Dr. Vikas has pointed out. There are several work going on, but what is new in your particular work, that particularly you have to highlight in the introduction point. And recently it is coming out in the end of introduction, or before starting the methodology, you play bulleted point, you can point out the different novelty of your or highlights, key highlight of your work, so the readers can able to understand what is new in it, and what like you have done your literature survey, what is lagging behind, what is the gap, and what you are going to do. So that flow has to be there until the conclusion. Whatever objective you have set in the initial, you have met it, and that has to come in the conclusion section. So that is what we also look for. Like if I'm editing a journal or something, we will also try to see whether there is flow or not. So that is one aspect. Another part is like on the scholar point of view. Here I am I'm coordinator one of the particular coursework, that is research, this publication and ethics, which is a mandatory course now by UGC for all the PhD scholar. So there also very beautifully, the coursework has been designed, where the research scholar can able to see the journal finder, as I suggest, on plagiarism, the rule that has come in 2018, the UGC guideline, that they should refer to that, and you need to have the access of the software like Turnitin or Urkund. Urkund is being provided to all the higher education institute nowadays by InflipNet. I'm one of the coordinator here in Northeast section, where we and the admin of our university. So we create account for the research scholar, so that they can check their work before submitting to elsewhere, either your thesis or your publication that you are trying to do. Before submitting to the journal, you should able to check it, and makes necessary correction. You do give proper credit to the previous published work by citation. That those fundamental thing has to be there. And another aspect of it is like the journal selection. Now the UGC has very beautifully, they have come up with this UGC care list, which the website is, I guess, being maintained by the Pune University. And in that, you can able to find out the group 1 and group 2, and where the group 2 basically is all about your ASCIE, SSCIE, SCIE, and Scopus. So they have they have informed all the higher education along with all the university to limit your publication to this index journal, and where the SCI is the topmost part of it. So like we have to have either Scopus, or else you have to have index publication with ASCI, SSCI, and SCIE. And impact factor, where this SSCIE and SCIE, these two indexing body, they give the impact factor. And recently this JCR report also being released, where there is sudden changes they have made on the impact factor, and there you can see sudden changes in the high, towards high changes in few of the general impact factor due to a small change they have done in the early SS year. Like if some paper has been published, and there are like two kind of versions sometimes, like early SS, like recently that is being published, and after some time they get it, they get the volume number, issue number, and year of publication. That is a published version. So early access and publish, in that between, if somebody is getting some citation, that will not included. Now that is being included, and that's why the impact factor jump you can see in this present report. So this is kind of a brief kind of overview I like to give to all the scholar or those who are listening. Thank you.
So well, Akash sir, thank you. Akash sir is dealing with the PhD course as a PhD course coordinator, and in that context he has explained many things. So before concluding the views of you all, I would request anyone, if you would like to say something after listening all the panelists. Yes, Nilesh sir, would you say something after listening all?
Most of the points are addressed by all the panelists,
Sir, please speak loudly.
Sir, most of the points are addressed by all the panelists, and obviously there are basically two parts. One is the structure of a research paper that few of the panelists have make a comment on, that how to write a title, how to write abstract, even introduction, because lots of points or sub points are there that we can discuss, and I think we have to finish within an hour, so it is a little difficult. But obviously there are two parts. First is the structure of that research paper, that how the research paper should be organized, and the second thing is a publication part, where one should understand first how when we submit research article, what is the submission process, what is the revision process, and what is the publication process. So many steps are involved in this publication process, as well as I have already discussed. First technical screening, then revision process, then many points are there that we have to follow in the revision process as well. And after acceptance, the publication, within few days publications will be taken place. So yes, obviously that writing research article is the most important thing rather than publishing, because if you are writing it very carefully, with the strong validation, simulation results, experimental results, then there are basically more chances that to get it published.
Also, I'll like to add some couple of points to the Nilesh which you have mentioned. Yes. There are always do's and don'ts which researchers should, they should able to have it. Very first thing is, many a times researchers do copy paste the content of written by the other researchers, even the images, tables, and subsequently which leads to the plagiarism and the paper is get rejected. So I appeal to all the researchers to not copy paste, even though you are citing, but still it will come under the plagiarism. What is expected is whatever they have did, you should articulate in your own way. And one more aspect where I personally found is the discussion on the results. Many a times paper researcher just produce a result that okay, this method is applied and this is the result that they got. But there is no discussion on the result, that why this result, what is the significance of result, and the of course some future what can be done in future. So future scope also to be included. So that are some of the points which along with these are some certainly be useful.
Thank you, Prashant sir. You have added valuable your comment. So now I would request rest of the three panelists, would you say something or should I conclude it?
Yes, sir. I want to add something.
Right.
I want to, what is avoid when we write a research paper? So the first foremost thing, avoid statement that go beyond what the result can support. That is must when we write a good paper which is published in a SCI journal. And other one is avoid always unspecific expression. in a result case, always we are used as a quantitative analytical method rather than qualitative. For the example, if we want to write related to the temperature, so this is not a correct, we are write as a higher temperature or the lower rate, highly significant, something, we avoid such type of words. Rather than we are put just like a temperature is 35 degrees centigrade. So always in a result case, we are prefer quantitative words rather than qualitative words. Another thing is avoid sudden introduction of new terms or ideas. Always it is necessary to introduce all the terminology in an introduction words. So I think when we are want to write a good paper for the essay general, so these are totally avoid the such type of case.
Thank you,
Thanks.
Vikas sir. Now, important thing, Nilesh sir said that in 1 hour we are going to complete this session with these 5 number of panelists and viewers. So it is also a good thing. So now I'm going to conclude the thing so that our viewers could know what is the conclusion of this panel discussion, what things should be emphasized. So let us start with the Prashant sir. Prashant sir emphasized on mathematical foundation and methodology. So there has to be a connect with mathematical foundation and the relevant methodology. So now come to Jiten sir. Jiten sir emphasized on experimental setup. So this is very significant if you are not in computer science or IT related research, because in these research and electrical and electronics also you will get the softwares, respective softwares. But in case of mechanical and civil transfer, there are software, but many times you have to have experimental setup. So experimental setup is significant there. All those simulations are there. Now Nilesh sir said about the variants of SCI journal, and you can listen him later also with the research support channel. So now we come to Vikas sir. Vikas sir said about the necessary condition, method and research. He discussed on impact factor, also how to write the paper, and cross diagonal and diagonal approach. These all things have been discussed with Vikas sir. Now Akash sir is dealing with the research scholars. It is very good thing, and he said about the how to find the journal. This is very significant and important thing, how their research scholar could find the journals. So this is my conclusion. However, the panelists said many more things about this SCI publication, but in conclude, I would say a few things only. So, you will have this discussion on FB also, our LNCT Group's FB page. We are one of the Central India's best engineering college, and we have university also. Now, I would take 1 or 2 minutes. So I am the moderator of this panel discussion, but behind me there are few persons. I would introduce you with them. So there is a Professor Sushil Kumar. He is the head of the Department of IT. Professor Sushil Kumar.
Sir.
Yes. So Sushil Kumar is the HOD of Department of IT, and he is. We have conducted in association with them. Now Amit Bodhopadhyay sir. Yes, Amit sir.
जी सर नमस्कार.
Namaskar sir. So Amit Bodh sir is very important for this group. He is covering all the news and all, and I believe he will also cover this thing also. So you will get news, printed news in the newspaper after day after tomorrow or tomorrow. So thank you Amit sir.
थैंक यू. और मैं सभी पैनलिस्ट का मैंने सुना पूरा, बहुत अच्छा लगा. प्रशांत सर, विकास सर, आकाश जी और एक अपने यंग नीलेश जी का.
थैंक यू अमित बोध सर. Now we
ये भी सर एक
Megha
फ्रूटफुल था,
Kamble
कम से
madam.
कम जो जर्नल्स वगैरह में पेपर्स पब्लिश करते हैं उनके लिए बहुत फ्रूटफुल था। मैंने भी सुना पूरे ऑलमोस्ट 45 to 50 मिनट्स तक कंटिन्यू। थैंक यू सर, थैंक्स अ लॉट फॉर कमिंग टू ऑल।
Megha Kamble madam, are you still connected, Megha madam?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Good afternoon.
So
And
Megha madam is behind this entire panel discussion. He has helped me to reach you all panelists. So well, Megha madam, would you say something?
yes, sir. Definitely, we as a team of R&D cell, all my colleagues. So this was a team effort, and it's really nice that we are having a very good experts, and definitely they are with the practical exposure. So this has given a clear guideline to all participants that how systematic efforts are required for quality publication. So
thank you, Megha madam. Now I would request our official coordinator, Professor Huma Gupta madam, to present both vote of thanks to our panelists.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. So first of all, I would really like to thank Manish sir and the management and all the coordinators for providing this opportunity to me. So a very good evening to one and all present here. On behalf of Information Technology Department, I, Professor Huma Gupta, extend my vote of thanks to all dignitaries assembled here. I extend my thanks to Jiten Saxena sir, Dr. Prashant Todkar sir, Mr. Nilesh K. Kumarkar sir, Dr. Akash Kumar, and Dr. Vikas Khare sir for contributing their time, giving their time and explaining us everything about SCI publication with such a simple way. And I really personally think that these 45 minutes were like, I did not realize how it is fast. And I really feel that this is really going to be a great input to all our research aspirants like me and other my colleagues who are pursuing PhD and other research work. So thank you all for your valuable time. This will be really a great contribution to all of us. At the end, I also extend my thanks to the management of LNCT and Research Development Cell and all other cells for giving this huge opportunity to all of us. Thank you so much. Good day to all and stay safe. Thank you, sir.
Right, sir. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Manish sir. Thanks, Manish sir.
Okay. Welcome, sir. Welcome.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. And thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Prashant.
Thank you, all of you, sir. Thank you, all of you.
Thank you. Thank you.
So I'm going to end this meeting.
Sure, sir. Thank you, sir.
Welcome.